Introduction: the hidden truths of wisdom. The stories we think we know, the Garden of Eden, the fall of humanity, and the struggle between good and evil are but fragments of a much larger tapestry woven from myths, symbols, and suppressed truths. For centuries, these narratives have been framed by power structures intent on control, recasting rebellion as sin and knowledge as dangerous. But beneath the surface of these tales lies another story, one of courage, enlightenment, and a divine plan to guide humanity back to its origin. This is not a tale of failure or punishment. It is a story of awakening, led by figures often misunderstood or maligned: Eve, Lilith, Mary Magdalene, and Sophia, the embodiment of divine wisdom. It is a story about the spark of light that Sophia planted within humanity, a light that calls us to remember who we are and to rise above the illusions of a world shaped by ignorance. To uncover this truth, we must look beyond dogma and doctrine, diving into the Gnostic tradition and the suppressed stories of ancient civilizations. These perspectives reinterpret humanity's fall not as a tragic error, but as the first step on the spiral path to enlightenment. A journey that begins with rebellion and ends in redemption. Sophia, the embodiment of wisdom. Sophia, whose name means wisdom, is central to this narrative in Gnostic cosmology. She is a divine being of light who descended from the pleroma, the realm of unity and fullness, into the chaos of the material world. Her descent was not a mistake, but an act of love, a desire to bring forth creation. Yet, in her descent, Sophia gave rise to the demiurge, a flawed and arrogant being who believed himself to be the one true creator. The demiurge crafted the material world as a place of limitation and illusion, trapping souls in ignorance and separation from the divine. Sophia, realizing the consequences of her actions, planted a fragment of her divine light, a spark within humanity. This spark, buried beneath the illusions of the material world, is the key to humanity's awakening. It is Sophia's enduring gift, a reminder of our divine origin and a guide back to the fullness of the pleroma. Eve's rebellion. The first story of the Garden of Eden has been told as humanity's great failure. Tempted by the serpent, disobeyed God's command, leading to humanity's fall from grace. But the Gnostic perspective transforms this narrative. Eve's act was not one of defiance, but of courage. The serpent, long demonized as a deceiver, is reinterpreted as a messenger of Sophia, guiding Eve toward knowledge and liberation. The fruit of the tree of knowledge was not poison, but a gift, an opening of the eyes to the truth of humanity's divine spark.
Eve's eyes were open, and she saw the truth. Her act was not a fall, but a rise, the first step into awareness.
Eve's choice to eat the fruit shattered the illusions of the demiurge, setting humanity on the path to gnosis, the direct experience of divine truth. Her story reminds us that enlightenment often requires questioning imposed limits and embracing the forbidden truths that lie beyond. Lilith's defiance.
The woman who would not bow. Before Eve there was Lilith, a figure equally misunderstood in some traditions. Lilith was Adam's first wife, created as his equal. When she refused to submit to him, she was cast out and demonized. Lilith's story is one of autonomy and defiance, a refusal to accept domination. While she has been portrayed as dangerous and chaotic, the Gnostic lens reframes her as a symbol of self-sovereignty and strength. Lilith's exile represents the cost of challenging oppressive systems, but it also underscores the enduring power of those who dare to say no. Together, Eve and Lilith reveal two faces of rebellion. Eve's quest for knowledge and Lilith's insistence on freedom. Both are necessary steps in humanity's journey toward awakening.
The demiurge and the material world. Demiurge. Beget the divine feminine silenced. The suppression of the divine feminine, represented by figures like Sophia, Eve, and Lilith, is a central theme in humanity's fragmentation. Patriarchal systems have demonized feminine wisdom, intuition, and creativity, casting them as threats to order and control. This silencing has left the world unbalanced, disconnected from the cycles of life and renewal that the feminine embodies. But the divine feminine is rising again, not as an adversary to the masculine, but as its equal partner. Reclaiming this balance is essential for humanity's healing and awakening. The journey toward gnosis. The Gnostic path is not about blind faith or obedience. It is about awakening to the truth within. The journey to gnosis involves breaking free from the illusions of the demiurge, reconnecting with Sophia's light, and reclaiming the balance of masculine and feminine energies. This journey is both personal and collective as individuals awaken the divine spark within. They contribute to a greater ripple of remembrance, bringing humanity closer to the fullness of the pleroma. What was divided will be made whole again. What was lost will be found. And in the reunion we will remember that we were never truly apart. courage to remember. This book is an invitation to see these stories in a new light. It is a call to honor Eve's courage, Lilith's autonomy, Mary Magdalene's wisdom, and Sophia's love. It reminds us that the fall was never the end, it was the beginning of a journey toward enlightenment. A journey that we are still walking today. Within each of us burns Sophia's spark, an unextinguishable light that calls us to rise, to question, and to remember. This is not a story of punishment, but of redemption, not of failure, but of awakening. The time has come to reclaim the wisdom of the divine feminine, to restore balance and to step into the fullness of who we are. This is the journey back to the pleroma, to the unity we have never truly lost.